I think it's on now.
Well, how did you know by looking at it?
3 seconds.
3 seconds?
It counts down from 3 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know, one of these times I'm going to have to. What if you're dead or something and I can't? And I have to learn how to do that. You're going to have somebody else come in and do that. And anybody can take your place.
Anybody can take my place. That's my phone, though. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So you'd have to get a new phone.
Oh, well, I don't need a new phone. My phone is wonderful.
You'd have to get access.
Yeah, access to the Canonsburg UP Church. Mm-hmm. I could just go live on Facebook as Canonsburg UP Church presents.
It wouldn't show up that way. It'd be like you. It'd be like your cult following that are friends with you.
Well, I do have a cult following.
Oh, you do?
Well, yeah, I mean, where else? Of course.
Do you have people that would drink your Kool-Aid?
You're one of them. Oh, come on.
No way.
What are we doing sitting here if
No
that's not
way.
the case? Because I haven't drank your Kool-Aid.
Do you forget who invited you? I invited you.
Oh, please. All
Kenton,
right.
would you like to do something?
Yes, okay, but you know what? I got a lot more time in than you did.
Can you believe it's been 2 years? Over 2 years now.
What, so we're doing this?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, over
you had
2
your
years.
100. You had your 100 episodes, which
We're like on like 109,
200.
110. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was. We started it in March.
Yeah.
Right? April, or May. Yeah.
But yeah, you had me tease people with come to church for the big message, okay? And I didn't know what the big message was.
Of course you didn't.
So you start the sermon.
Because let's be honest.
Oh, come on.
You said is anything off limits? Let's be honest. There was a reason.
Come on. I'd have kept that secret. I really would have kept that secret.
So for
I might have had to stay home for 3 weeks.
Kenton keeping the secret.
Come on.
Yes, you would have for Kenton you would have kept the secret, which means you probably would have only told like 10 or 15 people.
That's not true at all.
You didn't make it out of the service before you called your sister.
Well, I made it out of the service. Church was over. I waited.
Right.
Well, yeah, but I had
somebody told me. I'm trying to think of who it was. It was over a message just today. They said your mouth didn't close.
It didn't. I sat there like this.
Well, there was you were funny to me today. I was actually thinking about you for a good week to 10 days in preparation for
I know you were. You made me pray for $1.5 million. You asked me about the gentleman that donated the money.
What was your answer to that? God told me what? What was your first thing?
I was falling asleep.
No, before that.
Oh, I told him he'd never get that kind of money from anybody.
You said God said no, and then you should ask for less.
Exactly.
I didn't ask for anything.
Well, me either, but I always pray for the church.
Yes.
And I pray for you.
Thank you.
I don't know about putting you and $1.5 million in the same room.
I'm not in the.
No, I know that, but
I can't spend.
You can't?
I can't spend much.
Well, then what good is it having you around as my friend?
That's a good question.
I mean, I should just let you preach and go home.
That's pretty much.
You know what I mean? I'm not calling you anymore.
That's probably fair.
This might be the last video. Are you guys excited? The one of you watching, are you excited? This is the last video.
But what I thought was funny is, not funny, but so I talked to a few members afterwards, 2 of whom were on the pastoral nominating committee that called me 8 years ago.
What, they were getting their mistake now?
Well, they were saying, I think he's gonna announce that he's leaving.
Oh, I knew it wasn't that.
You knew that, but I mean,
I know. But the average Joe didn't.
And it was funny because as I was, figuring out, and I told everybody this. I mean, this kind of news, it's kind of like a tsunami, right? You hear it, and nobody would hear anything. So if we started the service with that, if I started the sermon with that,
I couldn't tell you what you said before it or after it.
Now you can't. Okay.
Yeah.
But you would have been. Well, you can't usually hear what I say anyway. So.
Well, I'm not trying. But I mean, for people who don't attend church here, and you may be watching this little gab fest.
What does this mean?
We had a significant donation made to our church in the past month of $1.5 million, and it's a wonderful thing. A wonderful thing. I would wish that for your church, not this specific 1.5 million, because that's ours. But I wish somebody came along and gave every church $1.5 million to inject into their life.
Yeah.
Amazing things are going to be done with it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a miracle.
again, the biggest thing is, the session has been this year looking at a book that is.
I don't like that book.
You have never even seen
Caused me a lot
book.
of trouble.
Okay? It's not the.
Caused me a lot of trouble.
I don't know what trouble it caused you. It's a good book.
Because you make them think in certain areas, and I don't like them to think then.
The leadership of the church thinking in certain areas.
Yeah, I mean, that's wrong.
Nothing's off.
They shouldn't be thinking. I mean, the leader should
You
be
want to do the only thinking.
Well, usually I am the only one thinking. Come on, Dawn. Come on.
So, but they've been reading this book, which is basically the premise is being a church for others, not just for the people in the room, right? Which is what you want. Of course. You're joking. Because you want to be a church. You want more people to come, not just to hear your music. That's you being funny.
Of course, no. I mean,
you want people to come here to know the love of Jesus Christ.
Yep.
You want them to grow.
Yep.
And as a byproduct of that is a more vibrant and joyful worshiping experience.
Yep.
So anyway, so the church, the leaders, the session have been saying, learning from this book, and they're only maybe a third of the way through this book, but it's been encouraging them, pushing them in some things. But, you kind of come back to, because this book is written, it's a few years old, maybe 20 years old. And it was written in a church, the church was in Arizona that this pastor was pastoring.
Well, they don't know in Arizona.
Right. I mean, it's not like, here's a
know?
blueprint for doing what we did. No, it's about thinking about the things that they did. But it's very easy when you look at someone else's contacts and you say, well, we're not in that place. Or we don't have, and this is the big thing, is we don't have that money. And we don't know. They don't say like, oh yeah, we had this big donor.
Right.
But it's very easy to say,
they got money.
They got money, or they did this, or they built this, or they bought that.
That's what people are going to say about us.
Yes. Yeah, the little church down the road that's going to see the renovations that happen here go, oh, well, they got money.
Yep.
And we do. And we do now have some money that can do that. But before that happened, the session is kind of saying, we want to do this. We want to be a church for others. We want to really live up to our mission of welcoming people to grow. But then you look around and you go, nuts, the paint's peeling over there. Or nuts, we don't have this or that.
Although, I wonder sometimes when I'm thinking about that, or looking up at the ceiling and thinking, how many people really notice that? How many people really think, they should be fixing that up there?
Yeah, more than you think.
I hope so.
They start,
I hope so.
Yeah, a lot of those conversations, I know for me it's been like, the session, the buildings and grounds are aware of it and are looking into it. Because without the money to do anything about that, that's kind of where you're stuck, right? You gotta prioritize, right?
Well, I was all about the ceiling.
Yeah.
God Church? There we go. God Church. Hey, you people out there. God Church. Church needs you. You need the church. Get church. God Church. Get church. Yeah. Remember, you heard that here first. Yep.
So
that was $1 million idea too. Just remember.
The church, the leaders are thinking about these things and recognizing the need, and then all of a sudden this comes out of the blue, and it allows them to address some of the things that are holding us back. But what's great about it is that I think if the elders had not already been thinking in this way, it would be very easy to just
put the money in the bank.
Yeah.
Well, we would probably be reserved on what renovation we did do.
Yeah.
Very reserved. And I'm sure we still will
it's not
reserved.
like, I know I got a brand new Range Rover,
he didn't make that clear. No Range Rover.
No.
And I pay for my own Cadillac.
That's right. I did make that joke to you though, right? What if I just drove down the street in some splashy sports car?
I'm telling you, it would cause more trouble than the joke would be worth.
It'd just be a joke.
Yeah, it would be a joke.
I don't want a sports car.
Well, you don't like that kind of stuff anyhow.
No, I don't.
You don't get cars turn me on. See, I'm a car guy. My biggest waste in my life is pulling over and buying cars.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's just something I do.
Yeah.
Now, I've refrained from that. It's taken self-control that you think I don't have because I can't keep a secret, okay? I've taken self-control not to go and buy
Areas
a
of
car.
self-control, no.
But I mean, I kept the same car for 3 years. Come on.
That's pretty impressive.
That's very long.
3 years.
For me, that's very long. If you knew me, you'd know that. I go through cars like underpants.
I sure hope you go through underpants more often.
Well, no, because I could go through.
No, don't tell me
Never
that.
mind.
But by the way, so just in case anybody's wondering, so that money is going to land within 4 buckets. One, and this has been long before I arrived here, this was a priority amongst the church, which is tithing. So large contributions that come in, the gas proceeds that have that large initial contribution was tithe to missions. This will be tithe to missions. So mission and stewardship
Should be.
are preparing and planning how can they use those funds. And we've got some various partners locally, internationally, that they're looking into blessing
Wonderful.
with that. So the second thing is, and I can excitedly report that our mortgage has been paid off.
Oh my goodness.
Now, there's
Sorry.
how that works. Karen is confident. I mean, she wrote the check, she deposited it, but
Wow,
it
what a
takes
check to write. She take a couple practices?
There's a fun story behind that, the date of
sure
it,
there is.
when it's, because of the long weekend and stuff, had to add an extra day. Anyway,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Could she have trouble
Got
writing
it.
3?
Oh, no, she didn't just type it,
Oh, type.
Yeah, you
Well,
don't
still
write.
typing it.
I haven't seen any handwritten.
I have a
check.
friend who came into some money, and she handed me a check one day and said, "Could you stop at the bank and pay off my house?" And I looked at the check, and it was,
Yeah.
and I was actually there when she wrote the check, and she said, "Now what do I write?" I said, "You write 300,000,
You write Kenton Clink is what you actually
Well,
said
yeah,
first. but,
that's my first thing is that make it out to Kenton Clink, but I don't need that money. I got the church. I mean,
Not the church's money, you've
no,
got the church.
I'm living in your office. I'm eating at your house, and Al's ready to take me in. Al is here today. You don't know who that is, but someday you will.
So those are the 2 buckets. The third bucket is the largest bucket, the capital improvements that
certainly need them.
We got paint
Yep.
and whatever caused that, which we've been looked into
And that's
before. Nothing has been
not a leak.
found, but that's certainly not a leak. Maybe
No,
there's
that's
old
just-
water damage.
And that what you see up there is just plaster. It's old plaster.
Right,
That's
yeah.
all it is. And when you figure that for 30 years, close to 30 years, the doors opened and the cold gets mixed with the hot, and that just happens. Especially when it's as old as this.
we got some things like carpet.
Well, we need
You
carpet.
tripped too many times on this carpet, and we
I know, and you know what? What if I trip up the steps?
Yes, yeah, that's a mess that we don't want to have to clean up.
I mean, it could happen.
We got windows that.
Oh, we do need windows.
and that's something important.
That's a big thing.
We have 1 stained glass window.
And the rest?
The rest are not stained glass.
Right.
So what
They're
gets
pretty.
They're pretty. They
But
were
we
very
can replace
pretty.
them with something pretty.
We'll have to replace them with something pretty, but they probably won't look the same.
Well, of course not.
No.
They may be round and arched, but
I fully expect that they will be the same shape.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be an expense. That would be a
oh my
definite,
goodness,
to
yes.
do that. No, you
Oh my,
want to
yes.
get the windows,
Yeah.
but whatever process
Do we want
this
them to
was, I don't think we need them to open.
no, me either.
Yeah.
I mean, these don't open.
They did.
Well, they
right?
did, but
Yeah.
they don't anymore.
Painted shut, probably.
Yeah. No, or nailed shut.
Yeah, I would suspect that we would have some, windows with something on them, whether it's maybe just straight frosted. I don't know.
Or maybe something etched in the frosting.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
you could, because those. Yeah, I remember the original, but 6 years ago, they had gotten an initial quote about the windows, because the trustees at the time were very concerned and aware.
I remember that. I
But
remember
it
that.
was not. They at that time they'd like, oh no, those
It
are not
wasn't
stained
feasible.
glass, and it wasn't feasible. But there's have to be an education process where we go, oh, those aren't stained glass, So whenever they get replaced, they won't be replaced with stained glass because that wouldn't be even possible.
Oh, we couldn't afford that. No. And
None
if they,
of
I
us.
could see if they were stained glass, restoring them, but they're
Oh
not.
yeah, but they're not. And,
they're
and they're some kind of, they're not even etched.
No,
There's
it's kind of a
something-
paper, a wax paper thing going on in
Yeah.
there.
I think they found that they don't even do that anymore.
No,
So,
they don't.
yeah.
They don't. I mean, there are sanctuaries within this presbytery that you will go and find the same window.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go to Emmanuel Church.
Okay.
And look at their windows. Yeah.
take a
About the same. About the same
time?
percentage, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I get it. It's amazing that they're not stained glass, to tell you the truth.
I wonder. I bet they were at one point in time.
I don't know.
don't think so?
I would say those are 200 years old.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think?
The window itself, no.
Yeah. Oh, I bet they are.
Because I don't even think.
Oh, that is. That
You
has
think that's
to be.
original?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. Look at the old pictures of the church. It's there.
Sorry.
It's there. And
I wonder-
These are there too. I really think so.
You think so?
because,
Okay.
You know, if you watch enough HGTV, you'd see that even the mechanism to put the window up and down. Look at with the rope and the
they're
pulley
the-
and all that,
yeah.
and the weight.
I just, you know what I wish? I wish when they consolidated, they had been able to find a way to bring some of the 3 other
Churches in.
because I don't think. I mean, now of course, 2 of the 3 still exist as churches.
Right. But we could have brought stained glass from them.
Yeah.
Something.
I wonder
think
first.
they did with things from the pulpit,
Okay.
things that are in the pulpit.
Yeah.
I think those weren't all just from Chartiers Presbyterian Church. I think some of those things are mixed into from the other 3 churches too.
Yeah. But I'm excited about.
I can remember that.
I'm excited about these things.
Oh my.
Our buildings and grounds team have been.
Oh my.
Hard at work ahead of time.
I said to you that some of the best arguments you're going to solve now is what color to paint or what upholstery to pick.
Argument?
Oh, they're going to be the best. Those are the best kind to have. It's like arguing about, do we have enough parking? Huh?
Yes.
You know, that's a great one.
That is a great, yes.
That's a great one.
I don't think there should be arguments about the color.
Oh,
I think
there
as
could- there's
long
gonna
as
be.
it's, I will say this. I won't be unhappy if we end up changing the color of the.
I know you want this.
So here's what I think.
You don't like red.
I like red.
You want purple.
My favorite color is purple, but,
I know, but-
I'm not a big fan of everything being purple. No. What I think would be a good idea
This is purple.
is if it was coordinated.
Well, yeah.
That's the
well, they tried to do that, and
Well, didn't you say?
unfortunately, well,
Correct me, because I've told this story. These were upholstered,
they were done.
and they matched the old carpet.
Yes, they did.
They weren't like the same color, but they matched.
right,
They
because the other carpet was
complemented.
red. Yeah.
And then they did the big renovation,
1993 came.
and they had said, "Well, we just reupholstered
Right.
these, so we're not going to do it again."
Right,
That's
but
how you end up with
Let me tell you the
strikingly
reasoning.
different colors.
Let me tell you the reasoning. It was all based on the colors in those non-stained glass windows. And you will find the color of the carpet in
okay.
the stained
All right,
glass
I can
window.
see it.
You will find the ugly blue of the choir robes in the stained glass window. You will find the gold
Do we
in
need
the
to
stained
edit
glass
that?
window. Well, I'm just saying we could switch choir robes. No, not end it, but buy better ones, buy nicer ones. But now we can do that. We can have a fundraiser for choir robes.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's now all of a sudden the blue that is in there just all of a sudden popped to me.
Yes, they're all there.
Yeah.
They're all there, and that's what they came from. A woman who was a decorator at the time
Yeah.
picked all the colors. The trim and the wall colors.
Yeah, I don't hate the red pews. I don't hate anything.
Well, and that's just it. Is that when they got down to it and they said, "Well, we're going with the colors in the windows."
Yeah.
The red is right there.
Yeah. I just think red is a very bold color.
Well, what would you like them to be?
It's
I don't
not what
want
I
blue.
like.
You don't want blue because that's too industrial.
I think there's a lot of shades of colors that would work. I just think bold, that's a bold statement. We have red, the pyramids just turned over.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one Sunday a year.
Who did that?
Who did it? I don't know. It might be Sheila Uriah
Okay.
that is still doing it.
Okay. Oh yeah,
She's been a
because
great
this is Pentecost.
Pentecost
Somebody
Sunday.
wore red last week, and I thought,
Yes.
you're a week early.
Yeah, I mentioned
Was that
it.
George?
No.
Okay.
No.
I remember the wife and the...
Adele Bowser wore
Did she?
red. I mentioned it to her on Sunday. I said, "You got to wear it next week." So
I don't have anything red.
Pentecost. I'll wear something. I'll find.
I got
something
nothing red since the fire, nothing. Not even a tie.
But then there's a fourth thing, right?
Oh yeah, what's the fourth thing?
Fourth thing is a fund for future ministry that we won't have to, and this is probably the one that is the most still needing work to kind of flesh out, but a fund where ministry can be seeded and grow from that into different things that just in your regular annual budget you don't have the ability to do.
Oh, right, absolutely.
So who knows what could come from it? Yeah,
we can guarantee the life of this church for the next 50
years.
Yeah.
The key thing is that this money will all go, and so the key
It's
thing,
not
of course, is that
money.
No, but it's also like, hey, it's not like we sit back and say, oh, well, now church doesn't need me to contribute.
I thought that very thing.
No, I mean it's like more. It's the other way around now.
We need your money more than ever.
Yeah, but well, it's not that we need your money more than ever. It's more like
we need you more than ever.
We need people to be in, to be giving of their time and talent.
I agree,
and it goes further now, right? Because I mean,
I agree.
Before it's like these kind of improvements or maybe ministries.
Even the improvements that we made for the online ministry in the last 2 years, and I say we, by meaning the church, they've been wonderful things, and it's been money well spent doing that. And there were a little bit of money was spent to improve what you see online. But I have to tell you, and even though we're out there online right now, and I ask you to share this for as many people as possible, please get offline and come to church. Please.
Yeah, there's two different things.
Please, I know it's easy to sit there and say, I'm not going, or I don't want to get dressed. Well, it's not like everybody gets all dressed up anymore, so that's like the least of your worries. And you could come here and not only worship, but probably get something to eat. So I'm just saying, it's not a wasted trip. Please put the phone down and come to church. Please, we need you here. Yeah. It's important that you're here.
It's so much better.
Oh my goodness, so much better. That's why I'm looking forward to one service.
So we're going to do one service in July. Here in the sanctuary at 9:30.
Yep.
And we're going to do one service at Norsterbain Park at 10 a.m. for the month of August.
Tell you about a secret about Norsterbain Park. You know what?
Uh-oh.
There's no piano there. There's no organ there. So I could not show up, and no one would miss me. See, and I believe that no one would miss and say, "Oh, where's Kenton?" No, they would only say that if they were missing the piano music. If the piano was there and nobody was playing it, they'd say, "Okay, Kenton's missing," but they won't catch it.
You don't think we'd miss you?
Huh?
We wouldn't miss you?
Not right away. Not right away, but you wouldn't miss me, okay? Not at all. Geesh. You got me half buried already. It's hard to get my feet out of the mud. I'm telling you, you're rough. You're rough. We talked a long time last week, a really long time.
Yeah, and maybe we should, maybe you should play some.
Well,
is that what you're saying?
I'm not jumping right into that yet.
Oh shoot, because I do have somewhere else to be.
I really don't care where you have to be.
Yeah,
Okay, because the reason why we're late today, I will tell you, is that it's the first Wednesday of the month, and he had ministerium, and being the president, he can't blow it off. And then I spent the morning in the dentist chair. So if I look disheveled, it's because someone's been working inside my mouth for 2 hours straight.
But hey, by the way, I got something for you. 2 things.
Huh?
2 things for you.
For me? Mm-hmm. Is dinner one
kind
of them?
About this? No. So one thing is that, of course, the ministerial association doesn't meet in July and August.
Oh, cool.
And additionally, in September, we're going to be meeting on a Thursday.
Great.
So if we continue with this, don't have to adjust it on that first Wednesday of the month.
I got to tell you, we had 500 plus views last week.
Wow. There are 500 people that were interested in listening to us talk.
But that doesn't, those views don't mean I listened all the way through. But
Probably didn't.
But the very fact is that, and we're getting some criticism now from people in our church saying, cool to talk, play the music, where I'm into the talk. But they'll get to the music. I did have one woman say, I'm fast forwarding to the music. Okay, but I think our talks are worthy. Now, what did I start to tell you?
No idea.
Oh, me either. Where were we?
You were talking about music.
Music?
You were going to play.
Playing music. No, that's not what I
It was the delay in...
Oh, a woman said, yeah, I'm going to fast forward to the music because I don't care about you talking. Now, there are other people who tell me that they listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that was a lot to listen to last week.
It was.
Yeah, a lot to listen to last week. I don't have my hearing aids on today either.
You don't?
No, because they just mess with my playing too much. I just lose my touch on the piano because I can't hear it, and I don't know. If you have hearing aids and you can solve my problems, please message me, okay? Because they're driving me crazy, and I spent a lot of money on them, So I really like to use them and not just throw them in a coffee cup. Yeah. So I do have one friend who always says, "Where are your hearing aids?" But she didn't notice today. And besides that, who would wear hearing aids in the dentist chair? Imagine all that you heard, all that drilling noise
I'd turn
and
them
stuff.
off if I had them. Yeah.
Well, you know what I found, and I really believe this: the world is way too loud. I liked not hearing stuff. I got to tell you, the world is way too loud. Dishes and silverware and conversations I pick up from a block away. I'm like, who's talking and where is that? I can't do it. I wear them to watch TV so the neighbors upstairs aren't too intruded upon by my surround sound. Because I bought that bass, what's it called? The bass speaker.
Subwoofer?
Yeah, subwoofer. Yeah, it really kicks. Woo! I mean, really kicks. That's why I bought it. But anyway, yeah, I got no use. I need help. I need help with those hearing aids.
Yeah,
I need help. Are you going to say I just need help in general? Is that what you were going to say?
I was going to say that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, so he plays all these tricks on me about announcing the big thing. I have no idea about anything. And so when I could finally talk to him about it, what's he do? He goes away. Oh, I'm going to New York to open a cabin. So I couldn't even gab with him about it, all right? And who else was I going to talk to?
I spent an hour on the phone with you in the car.
That was me doing you a favor, okay? That was me doing
Tell the whole story. You got to tell the whole story.
All right. I knew he was going to New York to open his family's cabin up there in the compound. Anyway, it's like a 6-hour drive. So my first response was, well, I could go with you. And of course he poo-pooed that as, oh no, you'll never last 6 hours in the car. Oh, it just won't happen. And we're only going to a cabin, which I happen to know is air conditioned, okay? But nope. So I didn't go. So I'm thinking, I looked at
smoking too.
That I couldn't smoke in the car, but I would have though.
No.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't have.
We'd have been fighting.
Because you wouldn't have been in the car.
Well, there's that. But anyway, so he's on his way to New York, and I looked at what time it was, and I thought, well, I can call him now because what's he doing besides driving? I mean, of course he has buds in his ears, and he's listening to something, but for me, that's irrelevant. Okay, it's that he's got the time on his hands. We'll chat, and chat we did. Yes, we did.
Whole hour
until your mom called.
Fell
Yeah,
asleep.
yeah. But like I said, it's going to be a wonderful time in the life of the church. Just a wonderful time in the life of the church. I mean, and we also need to rewind and talk about prayer, because if ever there was an answer to prayers.
Well, what was the title of? What was the main point of my...
Oh, no.
You don't
ask
know?
Me a question about... Wait, let me think about it. You pray... let me see. Prayer. What did you talk about on Sunday? See, it was the 1.5.
Continue the conversation. Don't...
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Prayer is a conversation, and one of the things that we need to make sure we do is we don't end the conversation. Keep it going.
Absolutely.
Keep and... So that's part of the message, is that here we're not going to end the conversation. Once you receive something, whether it's a gift or your prayer is answered, you don't just be like, thanks, all right, see you later. Keep the conversation.
How can you not? I mean, especially when a prayer is answered so obviously, and I've had them answered obviously, you have to keep on praying. Mm-hmm. My goodness gracious. He does everything in the world to reinforce our faith. We just have to have our eyes open to see it.
Yeah.
I really believe that. I think an average human being, because of the way we're conditioned, is much more liable to recognize evil than good anytime. okay? Because evil is so recognizable. But we with opened eyes, open spiritual eyes, who walk with a living God, our eyes are open, and if we look, we can see God at work in this world today. And even though we have situations that we don't know what to do about, God is still at work in this world. He's still, and I've been saying this since the pandemic started, he's still at work in this church.
Amen.
And in this place. He's been here for 270 some years, and there'll be 270 more. 200, I think it's 275, 225, 250.
We're coming up on 250. We got a couple more.
Are we going to have a? I mean,
if you don't die and I'm still around, yeah,
that doesn't coincide.
We're only a few years.
That doesn't coincide with my 50 gala celebration.
No. It's after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, because I want to be the center of attention that day.
Speaking of being the center of attention and answering prayers,
I'm not ready yet.
Well, I need to get going.
I know your meeting starts at 3, doesn't it?
I have something in Washington in 5 minutes.
In Washington.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Don't hurry up the road. Okay.
I can't even be there if I leave now.
No, you can't call them and tell them you're going to be late.
Yeah, the phone's being used.
Oh, you can use mine.
I'll just cancel it. We'll just end the whole thing now. The one person who's still watching wants to hear you play.
I know that, and last week I said it was Kathy Weaver, and it was. She commented, "Yep, I'm here," and she's there now. I just know it, even though we're at this. Easy.
I know. I just got a little tickle in my throat going on. Yeah.
Oh, don't go down right here because I don't want anybody to see you suffer like that.
They won't know. Actually, if I went down right here, they wouldn't see it.
Oh, I would.
Oh, awesome.
Look at Don taking his last breath.
Yes.
Yeah, remember we talked about my last breath last week.
Take the pillow off my face.
Well, okay, if I'm going to play some music here, what would you like to hear?
Ooh.
Name something specific.
Oh, man.
Okay. Come on, Dawn.
I don't even know.
Come on, something. Come on, Dawn. I'll tell you what I want you to preach about.
You can tell me all you want.
Well, I'm waiting. What do you want
How
to
about
hear?
how's this? Something about the Holy Spirit. How about that? There you go.
Here it comes about the Holy Spirit. Wait, let me take this microphone off. It was great seeing everybody this week, and we'll see you again next week, no matter what happens. See you next week. Thanks for coming.